Hi everyone, how are you? Thank you for coming back for our Astro Tarot video for March. Amvita is joining us again. Thank you, Amvita, for coming.
Hello,
I
everyone.
think I think because there's a lot happening in March, I think we're gonna get back in, like, gonna get straight into it. So
Yeah,
we won't keep it too long. How have you been, Amvita? Have you been good?
yeah, that was my question. How was it? To
Yeah.
me, it felt like it was a complete reset. Yeah, it was not subtle. It was like in my face, right? I felt the intensity in my face. There was a lot of movement which was happening. I mean, that's true that if there is a lot of transitions happening around your personal planets or points, the intensity would be harder. But eclipse season, it was not easy. How about you? How was it for you?
Well, my February was a lot, and I've been taking time off to rest as
Mm,
well. I always tell all my clients and friends, make sure that you always, give from a full cup, not an empty one. And I had to remind myself that it was okay to take time to sleep and rest and do the bare minimum.
mm,
I'm still in it, to be honest.
mm.
And at the same time, I go by the day. I wake up in the morning and I feel good. I do things, like yesterday I felt amazing and I caught up with friends and had, afternoon party at home with some other friends where we made pizza. So make the most of it when I do have the energy for it. But at the same time, when I feel low, I just go into, I do nothing. So.
So true. Like, yeah, that's the same, pretty much same for me. Like some days are so good and some days are not. One thing I felt in this month is like whatever I was like last 2 years, we all were feeling quite stuck and nothing is moving. But in February, suddenly the things which were stalled, they suddenly start showing up. And that was an exciting thing. But I felt in February there were a lot of things on my plate, and there was so much movement that I'm like, oh, I'm tired and drained. I need some time to rest. But there are like ups and downs in my days too. And I feel that I was also feeling the collective because collectively there was a lot of movement and very powerful one, like, one person, one news which really impacted me was Deepak Chopra's him coming in Epstein files, and these and that was all like what all was happening. I could really connect it with the alignments, like the cultural movement, the spiritual leaders were being questioned. It's like that's Neptune, right? Neptune and Saturn. Saturn is all about authority figures, and Neptune rules these collective belief systems. So we all are questioning, like, what is public disillusionment with charismatic figures, and taking back our power, and institutionalized religion or any kind of spirituality was under scrutiny, I felt. And also, I felt in February there was a lot of exposure of institutional illusions, like, structural responsibility or accountability, the change in the old systems, the Iranian protests, the global support which has happened. I mean, yesterday, Iranian, like, I don't want to go all political, but
Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot.
uh,
Look, and
yeah.
that's the thing. I remember one of the cards that came out last month was the Ace of
Mm,
Swords at some point, but it was surrounded by good card. That's why I was like, I wonder if there's gonna be a piece of news or something
mm,
very out there, which I know is most likely connected with the Epstein files coming up. However, it's there for us. It's there for
yeah,
a reason. So
definitely.
just observe. Don't get involved.
Yeah,
Don't just observe it and put it on the shelf. And at the right time, once you have come into discernment, then it's time for you to take a stand or maybe even brush it off, whatever.
yeah,
No?
yeah. I mean, I
So
can.
I feel like it's a period right now. And look, and I'm not surprised because I've known about those things for a while now.
Mm,
But I'm out there for those ones that don't know, they're not in the know. Um,
Mm. I guess the
again.
collective systems were being questioned and they were tested and reevaluated. I guess that's the Neptune energy. Neptune, when it goes into Aries, it was in Pisces, there was a lot of illusion there over there. But there is everything is being tested and reevaluated. And what you're saying is so true, is like we have to discern and make sure which energy we want to be in and we want to contribute to the world with. We can be in the fearful energy that everyone thing is collapsing, but it can be like everything is realigning. So that's our choice, which energy we want to contribute to the world,
Yeah,
because
that's
there is
right.
going to be there is going a shift, and shift is never easy. Like, it's revolutionary, really. So coming back to March 2026, frankly, it's a big month in a way that it's an integration month. So there definitely is never a day without a meaningful impact aspect. Sky is very, very active, but interestingly, in Mars, there is none, you know, challenging aspect, and that's very interesting, really. So if we think about this year, I will tell you where Mars stands, because if we think about this year, there are three uh, energetic peak months of the year. So there is February, which just went, was the first energetic peak. So there was a deep reset energy with all the eclipses and Saturn, Neptune structures being questioned. We saw that illusions were exposed. The second, so the foundation was cracked in February, and where it wasn't solid. And then the next peak month is April. So April is an ignition point, a powerful concentration of planet in Aries. So there will be a lot of fire, momentum, and initiative. And the Uranus moves into Gemini as well. We'll talk about it when we come to April. Then there is going to be July, which is also going to be major, and we'll talk about it when we come to July. So these are the three most important months of this year. But March, which we are in now, is a bridge. It's like a rite for passage, right? So February cracked the old, April ignites the new. So we are moving from an old identity into a new one. So March is going to define what we are in between those two realities. So what is interesting is, as I said, there is no challenging on confrontational aspect. So it's not going to be a crisis driven month. It will be more is okay, let me say it like that. Like, for example, you are moving to a mansion in April, right? From a small house. So you are not being evicted. You are leaving your apartment and you're just going to walk into a mansion. But March is the time when you will be packing up, you will be sorting things, you will be throwing out what you don't need, you'll lock your doors, hand over the keys. So, all those old habits, old doubts, old conversation, the remnants might show up if you are weird of your path where you're moving, right? So there will be a strong tone in March about, not in a crisis way, but it's more in a reflective way. Like, but you are also ready for it. Like, last 2 months we were not ready for it, but this month it's like we know our truth. We can't hide away from our truth. So we are going back, closing the loops, finishing the conversation, adjusting the structures. So that is going to be the energy for this month, that we are adapting to the change before April comes. Because if we don't, April can feel very chaotic. But if we March is asking us to be more conscious, so as April is more powerful than it is chaotic, right? So that is the energy of March. If in few words I have to describe, it's a long spiel, but but it is big. It is big. So that's why I thought I'll explain you what this March's energy is going to be. Yeah. So, do you want do a card, Xenia, or you want me to for just the entire March, or you want me to do?
Let's have a look what general
Yeah.
message we have for March. Yeah, that what communication. Oh wow, okay, that's not good.
Mhm.
Okay. The first thing we are being told is yes, it's a period where we are definitely leaving behind old habits, old things. Some people might actually be physically moving or have just moved.
Mhm.
Okay. Now it's a period where there's going to be very fast energy, even in the form of very fast communication, which is going to be bringing some form of clarity, but at the same time, heartaches and setbacks. So, yeah, be ready for it. We spoke about it a little bit in, so just have a look at what's happening on mainstream media. Don't take everything, please, that it's being told. Okay, again, be discerning. We're also being asked, and it's interesting because if you guys go watch my video that has come out today, the main card of the video is the Emperor, which is also represents Aries. So I
Mm.
feel like Aries this month, although it's starting late of the month, it's going to be the like it's really embracing our masculine energy. It's
Mm.
it's
Mm.
the card of stability. And
Mm.
we're gonna get help in stabilizing ourselves, really setting our strong foundation, which we already started. But now it's the time where we're gonna be looking at, okay, let me have a look, what am I doing here?
Mm.
And
Mm.
see again, like Anvita said, is it gonna be good for me to move forward, or shall I just change it?
Mm. Mm.
Okay, and but that also at the same time we are being reminded whenever we want to see those setbacks or things not exactly working the way we imagined, don't stress too much around it. Don't make it bigger than it needs to be. That's
Mm.
March.
That's
Yes, in
beautiful. That's
summary.
beautiful.
I feel
Yeah,
like
that's
again, it's the beginning of a more stable year, more stability, more you be able to be more in control of what's happening for the rest of the year. That's
mm.
March for you.
If we are conscious about it,
If you are
like I
conscious, but again, those videos are here to help you out in understanding what the energies are based on the planets, so you can make conscious decisions on how you're gonna play them. Yeah.
that's true. That's true. Um, yeah, thank you. And what you said, Xenia, about the Aries energy with the card which you pulled in the morning, and yeah, we are going to move from Piscean to Aries energy because the planets are going to move into that, starting from Venus. So, so we are going to begin March in Pisces season. So it is the final sign of the zodiac, as we all know. So Aries is the initiation energy, as you said, and that is itself telling us something that we are moving. So we are at the seams of between dissolution and ignition, right? So this is the March. So at the moment when we start March, Mercury, Venus, and Sun, they all are in Pisces. So first Venus enter in Pisces, then the Mars will enter in Pisces on April 10, and then Sun will enter in Aries. The Sun will enter on 20th, which we'll talk about. But think about it, we are moving from this spiritual retreat to a battle hardened battlefield, right? So Aries is an action oriented place, where we act. It's a masculine energy. But Piscean is more of a inward, a spiritual retreat, which we were feeling, right? So that is the energy. So we start with um, um, Mars. entering into Piscean, right? That is the starting point. Or we will, okay, let's do the new moon first, because that's the lunar eclipse, the March 3rd. The lunar eclipse is the most important thing. So that is the closing of the chapter. So the March 3 eclipse is at Virgo 12 degree. It's directly opposing the Piscean axis and is closely conjunct South Node, right? And think about it, it's a lunar eclipse, so it is a full moon. Full moon represent completion, release, letting go of what is no longer serving us. So when an eclipse aligns with South Node, the effect is amplified. So the universe is saying, before you move forward, finish what is already complete. So that is going to be the lunar eclipse energy. So, as I said, that Piscean is like a spiritual retreat, the space where ego dissolves and we reconnect with something deeper in ourselves. Virgo energy is bringing that spiritual awareness into real life through disciplined action. So we just don't do meditation and spiritual retreat. We bring that spirituality in our real life through actions by maintaining the health of body, mind, and environment. So the lunar eclipse is on that axis. So it is about the daily routines that help us remain balanced while living in practical world. So this lunar eclipse is asking us, how do I make this expression function in real life? It is asking us to think about the real life, whatever we have learned, how we are going to bring it to this life so as we move more consciously. So this full moon is asking us to stop trying to force life into a predetermined shape instead of allowing life to reorganizing itself by reorganizing our physical and mental health through looking at the routines which we have, and looking at what we need to let go, which are draining our life energy. Because that is very important going forward. If we don't have that vitality and the life energy, how will we move to a new life? So this is the time to reflect, what are the things which are not good for us, right? And also, last eclipse was on north nodes, so it was a forward facing eclipse. This one is on the south node, which is the karmic completion. So this energy is strongly supporting the color. So some of our habits or patterns can be coming from past lives or karmic cycles, psychological cycles. So before beginning the new cycle, we have to look back. What are the things which are the patterns which are not serving us anymore, And again, coming back to our physical, mental, and spiritual health, what are draining our energy, so as we can move forward. So um this is the reset of your health, body, and nervous system, which is a very strong Virgo energy, your lifestyle, your health patterns, right? That is all this eclipse is talking about. And also another thing is that this eclipse is trining the Jupiter. So Jupiter in Cancer. So yes, it's about reflecting on ourselves, but Jupiter is giving us that wisdom, right? And it's softened that emotional experience. So it's not come with a bang, but it's like it's softening. You will be reflecting on that, and you will be more wiser when you're making the choices, right? So I would say, in all, focus on removing what drains your vitality rather than trying to perfect yourself. You have to focus on that so as we can move into the next cycle with a lot of vigor. So let go of anything which is draining for you, right? So again, it's not a harsh karmic clearing energy, it's a more softer energy. So maybe you can reflect on, eclipses are not a time to manifest, as I said, but if you want to reflect, you can reflect on what chapters of my life feels naturally complete and I can formally close it. Where am I holding the version of myself that feels emotionally and energetically tired? Or what is my body telling me about stress, exhaustion, or imbalance? And where am I carrying that tension in us, in me, that is not mine? It may be a collective thing, or maybe it's from my past life or my childhood. Where am I carrying tension? So it's a good eclipse to do the healing work, really. So as I said, everyone will feel this eclipse, but if you have planet or signs between 9 to 17 degree of Virgo, Piscean, Sagittarius, and Gemini, you will feel this eclipse really, really strong. So that's what this, you will really feel this. But if you don't have that, the planets and the in that those degrees, you might feel it, but you may be more reflective on that. So do you want to do a card for this eclipse in week one before we move forward, Xenia?
Same page as before. I think people are gonna start getting some, I wonder if people are gonna start actually feeling a bit more distracted than usual. I don't know if that's something that eclipse does. You don't really feel grounded, more distracted.
That's the
Um,
energy and
yeah,
eclipses.
is it? Okay, there you go. Um, but it feels like it's not even as heavy because yeah, people are gonna be distracted. Definitely want to be having fun. So maybe that's Jupiter there for you, having fun, going out, being child minded, childlike minded. What is it called? What is it saying in English?
Yeah,
Uh,
childlike, maybe.
uh, but again, it's kind of a call. Yeah, they're saying to you, just go with the flow, and that it is the moon. Yeah, again, yeah. Oh, that's a bit sad in the sense of if you guys are feeling like there's fear or your subconscious limiting belief are coming in, the cards are saying just trust that everything is going to work out. Just trust. Don't hang on to worries or anything that is pulling you down. Don't.
Yeah.
And if right now you're feeling heavy, do not watch the TV. Do not.
Mm, mm, mm.
Okay? Yeah,
That's
because it's a gift. Ah, look. Ah, that's beautiful. It's a gift. This eclipse is there for you.
mm,
This eclipse is there for you. It's there for you to grow and open your heart. And I
mm,
know you said not manifest, but this is the card of like this is the manifesting, really. It's a gift given to you from spirit where you're gonna be seeing it in
mm,
the real world. So it is. So I mean, take it as a time where um, go and have fun. Don't think too heavy. It's a wake up call, not to worry too much. Especially if you're someone that tends to worry, please don't.
mm,
Oh, there's beautiful cards around it, and it is a time of completion.
mm, mm. And that's so true what you're saying, Xenia, that um, if something is draining you, we don't want to take that energy with us. This eclipse is about letting go, and you will become more reflecting, and you will become more aware of what drains my energy and what is not. So consciously choosing that if watching news drains your energy, that's not what you want for the next month. You don't want to take forward in the new cycle. So that is definitely this energy of the eclipse. And I always say that don't manifest in eclipse because the things happen to us and we have to be more open to receiving rather than, forcing the universe to do things for us, because then I feel that we can sometimes interrupt that receiving because we are in our head and we can't even see what's unfolding in front of us because we want something else, which is not, maybe that's not what the universe wants to give us.
Mm.
We did want to change the part. So this time in the eclipse, things shift, so we have to be more aware of it. um one more thing which is happening in, I would bring that up in week 1, is March 3 is the eclipse, and March 2 is Mars enter in Pisces, uh, 2nd of March. So Mars, as we said, is the warrior. So it was in Aquarius before. So it will be in Pisces until April 10. So Mars, the warrior, the soldier, the initiator, he is in the space of spiritual, right? The realm where boundaries soften and the illusion of separation fades. So that is like a soldier's entering into a spiritual retreat. So at this time, what will happen is that masculine energy will become more internal. I do remember you said you took out an Aries card. We will be entering into Aries season this month, but Mars is entering into Piscean, and that will bring up this. It's like the soldier is learning compassion, surrender, and humility, because that is very, very important as we enter into Aries, that masculine energy, that we also have those qualities in ourselves. So Mars, Venus, and Mercury are already in retrograde in Piscean. So now the Mars enters too. So everything, so first 2 weeks, I would say it will feel more spiritual in us. Before we enter into the Aries season, it will be more spiritual, dreamlike, straight energy in us, where Mercury is also retrograde in Piscean. And so it is the following up from the energy which we were feeling in February. So maybe feel less linear, less decisive, more intuitive. So first 2 weeks of March are not push forward period, because you might feel, oh, it's an Aries season, let's push forward. But first 2 weeks especially, it's more dissolve what's false period rather than push forward. So forgiving yourself and the person you cannot take in the next chapter. So those things are very, very activated in the first 2 weeks. So it is, Piscean energy is not slamming doors, but it's more like, okay, let's release attachments. Let's let go. So that is what we will feel in the first week, with the week 3, the lunar eclipse, and the Mars in eclipse, Mars entering Piscean.
Yeah, the
So
cards are definitely saying to us that it's a time to just hang in there. Just hang
yeah.
in there. Don't. I actually been feeling it. I've been feeling that it's a time to rest. I
Mm.
don't know. Time to rest. Just, yeah, just take it easy. I mean, it's still only March, so you don't have to rush. Oh, we cannot hear you anymore, Anvita. We cannot hear you anymore.
What just happened, Xenia?
I don't
So
know. It's Mercury
sorry.
retrograde. That's what it is. That it is.
I have no
Sorry.
idea what happened. Just everything stopped there. So, yeah, the retrograde, we all are feeling it, and it's for real. The technological shit which happens. But yeah, we were talking about not to force anything, just let it unfold and just sit with it and observe. Allow the release to happen. When it is ready, it will happen, and trust the process. That's a big thing for week 1, is like trust the process. So so now it's week 2 of March. So the first week is about observing and letting things happen. It's eclipse, Mars enter Pisces. But in the second week of March, it shifts the tone slightly, I would say, because as you were saying, Xenia, Aries season begins. So on March 7, Venus it leaves Piscean and enter into Aries. And Venus is not really happy in Aries because Venus represent relationship, harmony, art, desire, connection, and it moves into Aries, which is more masculine, which is hot, fast, impulsive, action oriented, and direct pursuit. So think about it like a lover. Your desire for connection is placed into a battlefield of action. So you will be feeling this passionate, direct, and initiative drive that, well, now I have made the release now and I'm ready to move forward, right? And I want to create and connect. And in week two, you'll feel this sense of urgency. You might feel that you finally have the clarity and impulsive energy to now enter into a new cycle. You might feel that you have less patience and this desire to act as Venus enter into Aries. So this impulsive decisions, there's a warning here because you'll be feeling it. Because these impulsive decisions, if you make under this energy, may later require adjustments, especially because this month is still reflective month. It's not, as we were saying in week one, week two is also um, it's still reflective. So when Venus moved toward conjunction later this month with Saturn and Neptune in Aries, that might you might want to start seed a new cycle. Uh, uh, plant a new seed, right? Because when Venus entering, so we talked about Saturn Neptune conjunction in last month. So now Venus enter into Aries and it connects the Saturn. So you might feel it in the relationship sector or values or what are mature enough to carry forward. You might reflect on that. And when it conjuncts the Neptune, you might feel where is this love, beauty, or creativity is aligned with my spiritual truth. So this is all reflective. It's not doing something about it. It's about reflecting where your relationships are mature enough or they're aligned with your spiritual truth, the desire, whatever the Venus represent. So that is the energy of week two, more reflective, but you might feel that you have the answers. But it's more about, listening to the insights. And then March 10, the sun, it's very interesting. So Jupiter is going direct in Cancer this month. Now, all the personal planets, it's really interesting, all the personal planets are going to trine the Jupiter, which is at 15 degrees going direct. So what is going to happen when this trine happens with all these? Because Jupiter in going in Cancer, going direct, it's like suddenly you feel that you have the clarity and the direction and meaning, you have the wisdom. So let's look at if we personalize this Jupiter. So Jupiter is the wise elder archetype in your chart who knows everything. Now, when Jupiter is sitting in Cancer, it is exalted. So a Cancer is the mother archetype. So Jupiter in Cancer becomes the wise mother, right? So she creates this emotional safety around others when Jupiter is sitting in Cancer. So it's an expansive, caring, mother-like energy. So when it was retrograde, especially in the area of your chart where your Cancer sit, you may have experienced this themes of reviewing, questioning, or emotional processing. You may have felt like there's an uncertainty about the direction or meaning, reflection about emotional safety, or you may be reevaluating what really belonging means for me. So it was very internal, this Jupiter in Cancer. But when it goes direct, it is like this energy shifts from internal reflection to gently outward growth. So when it is in direct, the feeling that you are emotionally or philosophically blocked and not able to see the answers to the truth, it begins to open when Jupiter goes direct. So you might feel that your emotional confidence is returning, restoration of faith, again, in something you were uncertain about, especially where your Cancer is, some opening which was happening. So especially if you have a personal planet or anything, a point between 10 to 15 degree of Cancer, you might feel that influence really, really strong. So this emotional fog is lifting in the week too. So let the clarity grow naturally. Again, don't force it, especially because all the personal planets entire March are going to touch this um, Jupiter point. They will be activating this Jupiter point. So you might feel like when the sun trine this Jupiter on March 10, you might see, you might have a feeling that you are on a right path, even if it is still unfolding. Let it unfold. But you feel this, get this insight that, oh, I am actually on a right path, but it's just happening. So I'm letting it happen. When Mercury trines the same degree, your mind will catch up to the heart. It's like this understanding of the wisdom rather than just the data. There is an clarity and understanding of it happens. When Mars activates the same point, will give you the courage, which is happening later the month. It will give the courage to act, but not in week two, on what you now understand. So there will be some sort of inspiration or boldness rooted in meaning, which will happen. So all these personal planets, don't worry, are going to um, trine this Jupiter. And another thing which is happening is Mercury is becoming Kazimi. And we talked about it. Kazimi is when the new insights happen again. When a planet sits in the heart of the sun, in the crown, it is not burned by the sun, it is purified and empowered. So in the week two, you will have this mental rebirth energy. You know, Mercury Kazimi is the moment that the fog parts. So there will be a sudden illumination, ignition, integration. So I would say the real theme of week two is clarity, confidence, and gentle forward motion. So it's the moment after the storm where the air feels cleaner. It's not the time just yet to act, but it is the clarity will return in March in week two. So that's the week two. And I see the spread is made and done.
Yeah, so I feel like the cards are saying that it's a time week two where you are almost there with everything you worked really hard on. And yes, there's going to be a bit of clarity around it, but still a period of reflection where you have to just to observe
Mhm.
on how far you come, how things are working around you and within you, and do not much. Knowing that in the near future, there is going to be the most amazing things happening for you where you're going to be feeling absolutely under control. And then there's strength and courage coming in. Okay. And but again, you talked about a lot about the sun. And I feel like people might be actually starting getting a glimpse of how much they are actually in control and to stay positive and open and hopeful for whatever is coming next.
Mhm.
In your watching of on your observing, please remember to observe big as well, because the future is a bright one. Now, when I'm looking at the summary of it, it's again about independence, sovereignty, and the fact that the energy is there for all of that to come into fruition.
That's beautiful.
But at the same time, they're saying to us, make sure that you don't start doubting yourself. You don't start getting into fights with others.
Hmm.
You need to open your mind to other possibilities.
That is so
So I
important.
think it's in between both a period of reflection and understanding and assessing, but at the same time, there's going to start some positivity coming in because of the sun coming in and starting brightening things up,
Mm.
and in preparation for what's next.
Definitely. I mean, Jupiter trines and all the personal, Jupiter going direct and all the personal planets trining, which is a softer aspect to Jupiter. It is all a very light energy where it's the insights and things coming in. But yeah, we don't have to force it, but let it happen as you're talking about it, you know. So moving on, shall we? To week three. So week three is very interesting with the new moon. So new moon is in Pisces again. We are doing everything on Pisces Aries axis, 28 degree. It's like closing one chapter and moving to a new one. So March is all about Pisces axis and Aries. So new moon in Pisces is at 28 degree and it's like a magical reset. And so it's the second last degree of entire zodiac. So it will carry this completion energy of dissolution, surrender, forgiveness, letting go. It's like a final exhale before rebirth, right? So it's like that kind of energy you will feel in new moon. But new moon, as we always say, full moon is about closing and letting go. New moon is about beginnings. But this one especially carries the wisdom of everything revealed during the previous weeks. So it is about beginning from a higher level of self awareness, not place of ignorance, because this is happening after all that we talked about, the clarity. So we are more aware to plant a new seed consciously with the trust in the unknown. So think about it, it's just we are planting the seed. Maybe it could be, it's a excellent time this new moon is for manifesting, because we have just come from eclipse, from all these kazimi and everything. Very good time for manifestation of what is the seed you want to plant. Even if you don't have an external proof of it, you have an inner knowing of it, and you trust that, because the path forward is felt, not mapped, because there will be a lot of insights before this new moon. So it can be washing away. It can look like washing away those doubts because it's still 28-degree. So releasing any old emotional residue, recalibrating your inner compass, so as you can align your desire with the soul's direction rather than driven by fear, pressure, or unresolved wounds. Another thing which is happening on new moon day is new moon is in relationship with Uranus, but it is a softer, it's a sextile. So it is not going to be harsh as we were talking about in last 2 months. It's like disruptive, you have to do it. It's like a planet of awakening. It's a sudden insight. It's like a door that opens, that appears, but you have to be willing to notice it. Uranus this time is not going to be disruptive, that you have to look at the door. It will say, are you aware of it? Are you willing to notice it? So you have to be ready. So sextile energy of Uranus is going to reward that awareness and readiness. So what you might experience is sudden clarity about the path forward, insights. We have been talking about insights, maybe some meaningful conversation, so as you are ready to manifest with a little bit of clarity, right? but it's also closing some emotional and karmic portal and handing you the key to the new door. So this is the new moon is very, very good this time. It's giving you a key to the new door when you're ready to open the door. So as I said, very, very good time for visualization, manifestation, any prayer, whatever practice you do. Um, use this new moon. Use it, new moon. This new moon is amazing. So before I move forward, I maybe might want to do this new moon before I go ahead with it.
I asked about general week 3, what's gonna bring in. So if you have more, just keep going with it. I'm just gonna open the card just on week 3.
Okay, sure. I mean, it just that why I was saying new moon because March 20, the energy shifts completely because Sun is entering into Aries. And what you were saying about the month, the Aries season begins on the equinox, and on equinox day and night are equal, so light is going to outspace the darkness, and that's what exactly going to happen about after the new moon. Aries is fire, it's ruled by Mars. It represents movement, initiation, instinct. And on the same day, Mercury, all that fog of the retrograde, I mean, talk about it in our episode as well. Retrograde was really at play there. But Mercury is going to be direct in Pisces. And interestingly, there are no planets which are retrograde. So it's a very potent energy. Not having any planets in retrograde is a very, very strong energy. So after months of reviewing reflection groups, some planet or the other was a retrograde for last 2 years, really. This traffic jam is going to clear. And this is really important. So you might feel like that the conversations are resolving, decisions are crystallizing. If there were any misunderstandings in the retrograde period, they were entangling. So January and February, if it felt, I mean, there was action, but still there was not real clarity, that coherence, it's going to return. Um, Remember, again, it's March. So it's not like there will be instant fireworks and you have everything, but the fog will start to lift, right? And that's important before the sun comes up. Fog is starting to lift because Mercury is still in Pisces. Yes, it's not retrograde, but still is in Pisces. So it is very intuitive, trying to align itself with the reality. And as I said, Mars is going to trine Jupiter and Venus is going to square Jupiter. So Jupiter is strong in that time on March 21. So the action of Mars will be the wisdom, and the desires are going to challenge that wisdom. So when Venus, so what is going to happen is when Mars is going to trine Aries, you might feel that, oh, I want to take an action because I am clear. But Venus is squaring, so you might still feel, are my desires aligned with my deeper life direction? So, very good time to ask yourself this question. Is your desire aligned with your deeper life direction? So, this combination is very potent because it's going to teach you the maturity of your choice. It's going to tell you, yes, you have this clarity, but still ask this last question before we move forward. Is this is exactly what you want? So you are encouraged in V3 to act with courage, but not to confuse passion with alignment. V3 is a bridge between the two words, right? You may feel the tension in V3 with the wisdom, all that clarity inside wisdom you have gained, versus the urgency to move, the closure you have done with that excitement, right? The spiritual surrender which has happened versus fire driven initiation. So that's what the V3 is going to bring for you. Yeah. And the spread is ready. What's there for me?
Okay, so it doesn't look good because there are a few cards in reverse, and we're also having the devil card. So I'm gonna read it like this. It's definitely gonna be a wake-up call week. Wake-up call to realize how much power and abilities we guys have to manifest and bring things into reality. But it's very important that we do surrender. Now, while all of this is happening, some of us will be feeling quite down, unsupported. So if you're feeling like that, please remember that you are always supported. Okay. And it's also a time where you need to remind yourself that you do have all the tools and abilities to create your own reality. At the same time, well, this feeling of I'm not sure, and to be honest with you, I feel like the cards are saying to us and giving us a bit of a warning and heads up that there's going to be a lot happening outside that is going to pull us down. Okay. Because I feel like the cards, while the planets are doing their magic, that magic is being misused sometimes in what's happening around us. So I'm saying to you, if you're feeling like that, please know that you do have the power to shift it, because again, I feel like there's going to be a lot of fears coming to the surface, a lot of darkness coming to the surface, but you can absolutely take control over it if you have the right tools and abilities.
Mm.
Okay, again, surrender. But when we are surrendering, then we have the Six of Wands in reverse, which I feel like some of us will feel, okay, I'm surrendering, but in the surrender, I feel like I'm at a loss. I'm on the losing side, but that's not it. It's not it. But you will feel like it. And also there is limiting beliefs coming into place.
Mm.
So that's why I'm saying again, I feel like it's more of could be internal and external what the cards are showing us, because again they're saying to us you can control, and if there's a lot of overwhelming things happening, just focus on the few things you can make a difference in. And as well, it's going to be a time where a lot of our beliefs will just fall apart. Values, belief. Maybe these are even going to be a religion or something that is going to go down. I don't know.
Mm.
But again, they're saying to you, if you are feeling like you are not being supported, things are not working out, you are feeling like you are losing, it's all about going back to what's most important, letting go of those values and beliefs that don't serve you anymore, and go back into a place of love. What
Mm.
is really pulling you up and what is making a difference for you, your health, in your relationships. So I feel like, yeah, we can definitely read this in two ways,
Mm.
as a warning of please know that that's what's going to happen, and it's there for you to reshuffle your belief systems. And at the same time, if it's happening within you, know that it's there again to reshuffle things, so you're only left with what's most important.
Mm. That's such a good analysis because, yeah, it can be go two ways because Jupiter is all about the belief systems, right? And the faith. It's like Jupiter going direct and all these Kazami, you might get confused because of all these insights which are happening, and it's not easy to close a chapter and move to a new one. So there will be some sort of confusion, but just surrender is the big thing. So spiritual surrender. So in this month you will be feeling like spiritual surrender will be big, but also this, because of the Aries initiative energy, you might feel like that, oh, but I want to initiate something new, right? I don't want to surrender. I don't want to close. I want to be on the driving seat and just follow through. But this is also a time to let it mature rather than having that impulsive energy which can come up with all that, right? With the Jupiter going direct, you might feel like over enthusiastic, overconfident about your path, right? And Mercury going direct, you might feel just ready when you are not. So it's more of March is so early April is the momentum will become visible, but so I'm not going for the week 4 because there's not major alignment. It's the repetition of alignment. So we'll leave. I mean, it will not. It's like the continuation of the same energy. So week 3 and week 4 are very similar in that way because Sun is going to conjunct as it enters Aries in Saturn and Neptune, bringing up the same energy. So April is where we gain the momentum, but March is paying attention and feeling into what's happening around you as old chapters are completing. They're not collapsing, but they're completing, and new one is are rising. So they are not ready yet. They are forming, they are starting to move. So this March, instead of asking, what do I really want? Ask, what am I spiritually and emotionally ready to live and to sustain? So instead of an explosive external change, which we might feel like with that Aries energy to bring in, it's more about internal alignment changes that sets you up to everything that unfolds in April, which is going to be a major pivotal point. So March is more of a bridge. It's a release, integration, regaining the clarity. The fog will start to lift, rebuilding your faith, and preparing to move towards an action oriented. Oh, shit. Sorry, I thought that I have lost you. Action, action oriented. I'm like, again, the Mercury retrograde happened. Like, action oriented April. It's going to be big. So that's my astrology for March.
Perfect. Thank you, Amrita. Thank you so much for your insights and your wisdom.
Thank you.
If any of you guys that are watching would like to get a reading, your chart read with Amrita, all her details are going to be in the description box below. If you would like to book a tarot reading or a coaching session on a Reiki healing, my details are also in the description box. Otherwise, we'll see you next month. And please, please feel free to leave comments. Let us know how you're going. Let us go as how February was. Maybe even let us know what you're wishing to manifest during this new moon. And yes, see you next time.
Yeah.
Bye.